Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I'm going to start off with the big reveal here. This is the status of the build as of the completion of week 7. So here's our storage area, aka my garage, and you can see in the background there we have 2 wings, that's both left and right, currently stored on the jig. We've got the horizontal stabilizer, the elevator on top of that, the vertical stabilizers in the back. If you peek way in the corner, you can see the rudder, that's completed back there as well. Then we've got some parts strewn about. These are inventorying for the fuselage. The fuselage kit you can see we've dug into. That's at the bottom center of your screen, and we've begun construction of the fuselage. So great news here. We're making good progress, and I'm going to update you on what we've done. So here's some skin preparation for the left wing. So you can see this is the bottom skin. It's got the 3 inspection plates or holes for inspection plates there. So here we're just preparing the skin. In general, most of the skins are in pretty good shape. They don't need that much deburring, but every once in a while you do get one that needs some deburring. Maybe the tool was a little bit dull or something like that. So we just go through, check everything, mark it for where it needs to be dimpled, and then we move on to dimpling. And so here we are going through the bottom skin. Needs a lot of dimpling. Almost the entire bottom skin on both wings require dimpling, so it is a lot of work. So you can see here we have our 2 tables that we set up, and so we just split them enough that we can allow that skin to sink down a little bit, because even though we tried to construct the tables and the dimpler to be exactly the same height, after leveling them, they're a little bit higher there. So we just, to make sure that we're not tweaking the skin at all, we're allowing it to kind of sink down there in the middle, and then we're just going through here and getting everything dimpled. There's the 2 hole sizes there, the 4.0 and the 3.2. So after skin preparation is all done, here we pull the spar out, which if you remember has already been countersunk. Again, this is the left wing, and we did build all of those rib sub-assemblies for both wings at the same time. So even though we've already completed the right wing, we've got all of the sub-assemblies ready to go, so that makes it quicker. So we're just going through here, putting all the ribs in place. There goes the rear spars being put on there, getting all of the ribs in there, and then riveting everything to the main spar and then the rear spar. Those are the nose ribs there. And then once we are done with that, we will flip the wing over and begin with riveting the bottom skin and getting all of that done. So you'll see that here soon. There it goes. Okay, so now bottom skin, and we'll get that all put on. Okay, so everything's cleat-coated, and now we're just going through and riveting. We're starting with the main spar first, making sure that all of those fit with a minimal amount of clear drilling. And then we do have to go back and clear drill wherever there's dimples, just because that hole on the skin needs to be enlarged a little bit. The spar doesn't need to be match drilled at all, just that dimpled skin needs to get enlarged a little bit. So here we're going through and just checking everything, making sure we get everything dimpled. And then we decided we had delayed construction of the inspection panels for both wings, so we're just going through getting all 5 of those completed, and then we turn the wing back over. And now, since this is the left wing, there's a little more detail, so we are going to do the wiring as well as the pitot tube and all of that detail. And now goes the riveting for the top skin. And this is our second wing now, and it really is almost identical, minus the addition of the pitot tube on this left wing. So by this time we're getting pretty good at pulling these rivets and knowing exactly what to expect. So again, riveting the main spar first, then the rear spar, and then going through and getting all of the ribs riveted. So really the main spar and the rear spar kind of set the angle of the wing. So we want to make sure that those get set up. And then the ribs really are pretty flexible, except for, oh, and here's Parker. He came to do a little riveting, except for they're kind of difficult to get to now. You can't really reach in there and move the rib, but they are pretty flexible until you get them riveted. So, we are trying to get as many rivets in there as we can, minimizing the amount of clear drilling that we have to do. Usually if you work at it, you can kind of get that rib moved just a little bit, enough to get the rivet in there without having to do clear drilling. We didn't really want to make a mess of shavings in the wing that we wouldn't be able to get to once everything was riveted together. So here we are, completing the riveting on the left wing. And we've moved on now to the fuel tank. So at this point, we did some work that you haven't seen here, but we already have pre-assembled this fuel tank and fitted it to the wing to do all the clear drilling, and then pulled it off and cleaned it all as per the instructions. So at this point, we are reassembling it and beginning the sealing process. So putting that sealant on all of the ribs in the channel and just spreading it nicely. Then we flip it over and get it all clecoed. As many of you may know, once you mix up the sealant, you've got 2 hours of working time, and so you do feel like you're kind of under the clock a little bit, because you have to get all of that together, and then you want to get it on the wing and then riveted together so that you can make sure that that fuel tank matches the wing perfectly, because when construction is complete, we're going to pull it off and finish it at a later date. When construction's complete, we want to make sure it fits on there. So you'll see us finishing this up here. We do not do the back channel. We are missing a couple of the tubes that go inside of the fuel tank. So we're just getting to this stage, and then we're leaving it. And then once those back order parts come in, we'll finish the job by getting that back channel sealed and riveted. Okay, and I'm going to end the video here with another look at where we are now. So again, both left and right wings are done, as well as the entire empennage kit, and we've begun construction of the fuselage. So there are already a few items that I've identified that are either came damaged or incorrect parts, so that information has gone back to Sling, and they're going to replace those. But in the meantime, there's stuff that we can do, so we started construction of the rear fuselage, so you'll be seeing those parts show up in the next video. Thanks again for watching.